Hey everyone, it's Tonneau the RV DJ, and today we are going to be installing a tonneau cover on the back of our Gladiator. I'll flip it around so you can see what it looks like. Ta-da! And there's the Gladiator. Now that you can all see it in the daylight instead of nighttime pictures. Jim is currently opening the box to see what kind of pieces we got. So we'll get back to it after the box is open. So this is a Rough Country trifold flip-up bed cover, hardcover. They give you, here's the instructions. They give you one set of instructions for if you have the in-bed utility rails that run underneath here. There would be a silver rail going across, and then they give you the instructions for if you don't. So the instructions are good. So let's get the rest of the bed pieces out. Lots of styrofoam. And we'll continue on with the installation. So here we have our pieces. This is weather stripping that goes across the bulkhead of the pickup truck. We have our hardware and our tools that they supply to us. We have the actual cover itself, the bed rails, and the drain tubing, and the instructions. Alright, so the first thing we have to do is we have to put the weather stripping on the bulkhead of the truck, on the bed, because there's this lip down here. Can't really tell from this angle, but the bed rail is higher than the bulkhead of the truck. So we have to put this weatherproofing weather stripping across the front of the bulkhead of the bed. Of course, clean it off first, because you don't want, otherwise it won't stick. And they always give you more than what you need, so you just cut off the excess right at the edge right there. And that's that. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take the bed rail. This is the prop rod for the third panel, and you're going to push it all the way up to the front of the bed, like that. So your next step is to take the supplied bed rail clamps, 3 on each side, and slide them into the rail. One at the back of the bed, one in the middle, and one towards the front. Do that on both sides as well. So the next step is to take your thumb wheel screws, after you have the clamps slid on the rail, and put them in, but don't screw them all the way up, because you don't want them to protrude out of the hole. So just screw them in a couple of threads so they're flat with the bottom part of the clamp, and do that on both sides as well. Alright, so all of the bed rail clamps are on. And the thumb wheels are actually used. Thumb wheels are actually used to make sure that the cover rails stay flat against the side of the truck. So we tightened them down accordingly. They're flat on both sides, and now it's on to the next step. Okay, so the next step is to put the cover onto the bed of the truck, and you're going to face the cover with there's a weather stripping here, flap. It's an actual flap that goes down in the front between the cab and the bed of the truck. That's got to face the front of the bed. But before we do that, here's a picture of the flap. We're going to install the drain tubes. So the bed rails have these little brass fittings on them, and Rough Country gives you two rubber tubes that you place on the bed rail, and then the bottom end, you may have to cut them because they might be a bit long, go into the drain holes underneath the tie down of the bed right there. That's where they drain the water out. So Jim's got the first one on, and we'll install on the second one, and then we'll get back to the cover itself. Okay, so after we put the drain tubes on, we attached the bed cover to the truck by using these black carriage bolts right there that slide through the cover into the side rail of the truck, and they are held in with thumb screws and wing nuts, which are way up under here, right there, and they're screwed on. Thumb wheel goes on first, and then the wing nut goes on. Okay, so the next and final step is to put the prop rods on. Now Jim did one himself, but he's going to do the other one. And tell them what you got to do, babe.
Well, these things have little locks on them, so got to figure out which side goes which.
The side with the tab goes to the top of the
and then it snaps on the bottom.
Right.
Alright, and then between that and these devices here, you can secure the top up in case you need to.
So the side with the tab goes onto the bed cover.
It's up here by using this lock, and it snaps into that handy dandy little holder.
Just like that. So that is the installation of the Rough Country Trifold hardcover for your Jeep Gladiator. Mine's a 2025, but I'm sure it fits 2020 all the way up. It took, I'd give it a 2-hour job with 2 people and reading the instructions and watching a video. And that's what it looks like. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.